I don't have enough money for Taco Bell, but what I do have pleases me greatly. Today we're going to take a deep look into the Queen of the Spiders adventure module. And just letting you know now, I don't care if any secrets are revealed on this time around. You're going to learn a lot from this adventure module today. If you've never been able to acquire one of these and play it under the advanced Dungeons and Dragons system, I suggest you do so. Even if it's a reprint or a second edition version, which should be a little bit cheaper than this first printing. But if you can't find it, then try to find another way to play it if you can. Fifth edition would be a little bit dicey only because it's really hard to kill a character in that edition. It's incredibly not fair to the monsters. But in this edition, you had a fair contest, and because it took more than a year to play, you were likely to lose a character along the way of playing it. Everything would have had to go right for your character, and possibly coming into this, if you had a couple adventures under your belt where you found some magic equipment to help you succeed in making saving throws, that's probably what got you by. And you definitely didn't make it all the way to the end where Loth was waiting for you. I don't recommend going that way. But if you're a party that's really got nothing to lose, why not go for it? Anyway, here we go. We're going to take a look inside. Now, I own 3 copies of this. This is probably my intermediate copy. And when I bought this, I had no idea that the original map was not included. So I won't be showing you any maps today. I will be telling you some secrets of the adventure. But at the beginning, of course, G1, 2, and 3, we do not know that the Drow and, in fact, Loth is behind the giant attacks on civilization. So there's kind of like secret number 1, although they do show the Drow female priestesses right there on the cover, along with an Illithid mind flare and a couple of fire giants. So obviously this piece of art that's on the cover and in the inside was not in the original adventures. Here we have the table of contents. G1, 2, and 3, and then we have part 2, D1, 2, and 3, and then finally the Demon Web Pits, Q1, which actually was not written by Gary. It was written by Sutherland, I think, and a lot of people found it to be a little bit of a letdown. It's kind of almost got I want to say a surreal, almost kind of cartoonish type feel to it, especially the illustrations inside the module. They're a little, I'd say they're humorous anyway. So this is the introduction here. And they let the Dungeon Master know what's up right at the very beginning. And here's an original illustration that shows the Drow. Couldn't tell you which adventures this was from. It looks like that the prologue. This might have been after the Slave Lords module. Like you could have done that super module A1 through 4, and then sent them right out again on this. But I don't know how long that would take. I never played A1 through 4, which is kind of blasphemy, right? I own those books, and I actually have 1 or 2 of the super modules, but we tried playing it. Someone else dungeon mastered it, and we lost momentum and quit. This will not happen. You'll want to continue. These are so well done. So here's part with the giants. I guess they kind of, there's a prologue that leads you into the giants. Darkness over Sterich. You've got the reason that the king or whatever is calling your adventurers. There's obviously attacks on the city and country, and there's a call for adventurers. Whether the characters are forced into doing this for him or whether they come of their own free will. There's some good illustrations done by I think it's O Bar artist, and they look like they're done with charcoal or some medium that gives it a gritty look to it. There's some better illustrations in here. So it goes right into the Giants. It doesn't explain how the party gets there, which is, I guess, kind of cool. I mean, maybe most parties aren't going to be ready for mountain climbing. If you're really down and dirty and gritty, you might have the party do that, but then you're going to have a lot of random encounters before they even get there. Soon, the party will find themselves in the Hill Giant Fortress, and as you can see, there's a main hall with a party going on when it doesn't matter what time of day they arrive, that's what's going on. And they've got to be careful as they sneak around and all that. Lots of treasure, lots of things that can kill. But then in the end, if they do defeat most of these people, probably leading them out of the party chamber one by one or a few at a time to fight them, with the other ones not noticing that their ranks are disappearing more and more, they find something that takes them to the glacial rift of the frost giant Jarl. I believe there is a secret room with stairs going down, and then they find some strange writing, Drow or Elven. And they also find an adamantite circle of chain, which when they put it around themselves are transported to this new area. So in that way, whether or not they're prepared, whether or not they have the adequate food stores, they're in another area that they've got no idea where exactly they are. But they are high level at this point. This is an awesome picture here by David Trampier. It was made in 1978 when things were still good between him and the company. And I think I think this is on the back of the Hall of the Fire Giant King. There's some illustrations that are missing in the green version if you have that book module. The Fire Giant is adventure might be the best. It's all considering what your party likes to do. There's tons of treasure in the second one, and if the party can find it, I don't even want to say that, but there's an item that has 3 wishes on it. So if anybody dies from there on, you might be able to revive them with that. Of course, the person that says the wish has to do it correctly, otherwise they can screw themselves and the party over. Let's see. And then let's see. We're still just going through the last module, which is the biggest. And Giants module 3, the Halls of the Fire Giant King, is where they come across the Drow Elf for the first time. They learned that the Drow Elf is not completely supreme, highly intelligent, magical as hell, but not undefeatable in hand-to-hand combat, which is a little bit of their weakness because of, they're kind of allergic, they're kind of fragile when it comes to bright lights. So anytime you can get the Drow's eyes blinking, that's when you're attacking them. A simple light spell won't do anything, but if you have continual light on coins and uncover them during the combat, the Drow are not going to be happy. They're probably going to want to flee. maybe attack from beyond that point. From that point, you go into the Underdark. They left a page open for maybe some notes for the Dungeon Master, things that the players are preparing themselves for. So you've got the Underdark, you've got all sorts of encounter tables here because there's a long way to travel. And hopefully the Dungeon Master will give players who go off the main paths a little bit of a clue, a little bit of a hint, because otherwise, if they go off the map, the game might be considered over, or the Dungeon Master might say you've been turned around in such a way where you can never find your way home, such as the Underdark. And I'm sure he's not going to want to map everything. Here we have an Illithid, probably charming a human or an elf getting ready to do something unwholesome to them. Let's see, the Warrens of the Troglodytes. I'm not sure if that was added in extra. It might have been something that was in one of the modules. I haven't looked at them in a long while. This is the Shrine of the Kuo-Tuaz, and well, I think the English for it is Toens, but there they have a lot of fun. There's if they're agreeable with the creatures, they can actually get through that adventure without a whole lot of fighting or no fighting. But they have to do everything right and they have to guess correctly. The Kutua, they let people and other creatures in thinking that they're going to place a gift at our goddess's feet. Well, there's a statue there that the party will be led to. And if they don't do everything in the right order, yeah, that's when trouble happens. So most of the time, players are cheap. You'll give them some, like, say, like a couple thousand gold piece gem, right? And they'll just put a trinket down at the feet of a statue or whatever, thinking like, okay, what's that worth? 20 gold? That should get us by. No. I don't know if that helped or not, but there you go. Bugbears, early representation of them. They obviously look a little bit different in the 5th edition, maybe less cartoonish, but still as deadly and dangerous as ever. Here's another Mind Flare. Thinking of something, doing something maybe with a psionic attack. I recommend using 2nd edition's 2nd version of psionics. The 1st edition is not good enough. The 1st version of the 2nd edition psionics seems pretty good. The soft cover book and in the brown kind of leather looking paper, excellent. But then they came out with a abridged version of psionics which worked so well. We used it for Dark Sun, and then I used it again for campaigns thereafter. It worked really good. Dragons. Now we have the Vault of the Drow, where the players will actually enter a Drow city. And if they are smart and clever enough, they'll find their way to a temple. And from this temple, there is a way to transport themselves again to where Loth is, on her layer of the abyss. Having gotten there, they have to decide what they're going to do. There are many roads and pitfalls of other lands that they might enter. Some of them are dominated by her because she controls many, many worlds. And let's see, what is this? Oh, this is the number in party. That's something else. Survivor and Fugitive Party Composition Chart. Wow, that's crazy. There wasn't any of that in the modules I used. Again, we have a nice illustration by Obar. There's some lands idyllic, some look horrendous that the characters will maybe enter and then quickly try to return from. This is an illustration made just for this adventure. I think it's called a yokel. It's a handmaiden of Loth, very tough, aggressive, probably psionics, many hit points and many attacks, probably poison. Those creatures usually speak only to high priestesses and get their spells from them through Loth. Let's see here. And again, I don't know if it would have been nice if they put another really good image of Loth in here, but there is none. They put all the magic items and everything back here. Further adventures in the Demon Web Pits. They give you some other things that you might want to use. Some demons and all that, because there are demons just strolling right through the cities on Greyhawk in the Underdark. Just if you're like an adventurer, you're seeing nothing but drow on every street, being walking side by side with demons and all manner of evil beasts. Anything from the abyss spiders. It's illegal to attack a spider in any of Loth's cities or churches or whatever. So it's one of those things where if a character makes a simple mistake, the whole party's probably dead. There are a few areas in one adventure I remember where if the party does the wrong thing, you just tell the party that they've been surrounded and they are now dead. There's no need to fight the battle, no nothing. They've made the wrong decision, and that's kind of how Gary was. I know that we had a party of characters killed in the the hidden shrine of Tajkanth. What was it? One of the S modules. And there was like a rumbling in the mountains, and the DM says, "What do you do?" A rumbling in the mountains. You're on a path. And if you don't say you're running back the way you came, the DM collects the character sheets of the players and tells them that they've just all died, crushed by boulders rolling rampantly down the side of the mountain and crushing them. So Gary had a mean streak for sure, but there was always a reason for things he wrote. That's just the way it is in AD&D. But the adventures are great. I hope that you have luck playing this when you do find the time to do it. And this is considered it's voted the best module ever written for Dungeons and Dragons. The Giants are a blast. After that, it's kind of a slog. Really, who wants to go after Loth on her home plane? That's ridiculous. She's got all sorts of powers. As you might expect, she's got all sorts of spiders and other insects protecting her. She's got other creatures gathered around her. And I haven't even mentioned that she lives kind of on sort of a spacecraft of sorts. I won't say more than that about it, but it is a metal beast. So it's crazy, but it's fun. It might be worth playing, if you like this sort of thing. And it will take about a year to succeed if you go all the way. Otherwise, maybe about 3-4 months to get through the giant modules. Those are my favorite. All right, have a great day, have a great weekend, and good luck.